Hello, I am April Richards. I am the Rogers Fellow in Environmental Studies. I spent my summer at the Baruch Marine Field Laboratory working with Assistant Director Matt Kimball. And, you know, as a student from Wyoming going to school in Iowa, one of the least likely things I thought I might be doing is working at a marine lab. So this was a really new experience for me, and it was really fun. So I did a ton of projects while I was there, so I'm going to tell you about a few of those. The first one is with PIT tags. They are passive integrated transponders. So recent developments have allowed for 8mm PIT tags, which are about this big, and they allow us to track juvenile fish. And this is really exciting because we now can see the movement of these juvenile fish of economic and ecological importance in those early phases in life. But one of the things that we don't really know is the impacts of these tags on the fish, and something that we sought out to find was how well do these fish retain the tags? And so Matt and I initiated our research on PIT tag retention for juvenile pinfish and white mullet. And we had some really interesting findings. We got stumped at a lot of places, but it was really fun, and we know that there needs to be future research here to determine how that retention is going to vary across species. My next big project was testing the swimming abilities of juvenile fish. So using this, which is a swim chamber, which generates an even current throughout the chamber, we can test the critical swim speed. Or in other words, we test how fast of currents can these fish swim against. So understanding the hydrological conditions impact on fish movement is really important, especially when it comes to building artificial waterways. So the work that I did on this research ended up becoming a paper for which I'm a co-author, so that's really exciting too. Then I also did a project on the species composition of high intertidal marsh pools. So pretty much these are pools that have extremely high temperatures and extremely high salinity. And that's because the tide rarely gets high enough to infiltrate them and dilute them. So no one had ever checked out these pools to see what's living in them. And so we tried it out. And something really exciting that we actually found were post-larval tarpon. And for those of you who don't know, tarpon are really popular, really big recreational fish. So then the last project I'm going to tell you about is the biweekly catch. And this is a 30-year ongoing project that tests or that tracks the changes in species composition in the estuary. And so we collected post-larva samples, core samples, and we ran trawls. And then everything that we caught in those trawls, we counted, measured, weighed, and then we identified. And so this was a really cool way for me to see a ton of species, and I got to learn really good identification skills. And since my time at Baruch, I've actually used those skills as well. So my fellowship impacted me academically, professionally, and in my future plans and goals. First, it introduced me to invasive lionfish, and that became the focus for my senior capstone project for my environmental studies degree, and also allowed me to apply a lot of the skills that I learned at Baruch in that project. Also, it was just a really great way to gain experience doing research for graduate school. Next, I am, now the co-author of a publication, so yay. But more importantly than that, I made really great professional connections, which I learned are key for success in any field really, but in a way, those connections are important in a way that I didn't expect for environmentalism. And then for the future, I now know that I want to pursue a career in research, and so I will begin my graduate studies at the University of Michigan School of Natural Resources and the Environment in the fall. And I have to tell you, I talked extensively about my experiences at Baruch in my applications and when I talk to people at the University of Michigan. So lastly, I just want to thank a few people. Of course, John Mark Dean, who was the donor, but also a great resource for me and conversationalist since my time at Baruch. Also my site supervisor, Matt Kimball, who was an extraordinary mentor and gave me really incredible academic and professional experiences. And of course, Andy McCullum, my faculty sponsor and academic advisor, for all of his advice and support. And even though she's not up there, Alice Gansel, who is my rock at Cornell and she's my life. So, so thank you, Alice, too. All right, thank you.